Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be bringing you guys another Washington football team 2021 NFL mock draft, and this one will be a little bit different. We are going to be doing a trade back mock draft, which I do think is a possibility for the Washington football team this year. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's look at the three different offers that, have been offered to us. And again, this is from Pro Football Network, their mock draft site. So make sure you guys check it out. I am not making any of these offers. It's the site itself that is making them. And I think this is a realistic possibility for the Washington football team because, linebackers and tackles is a very strong class, especially, in that first to second round range. So they could trade back into the late first round and still have a bunch of prospects they like at that linebacker position and also at that tackle position. So the three trades that have been offered to us, some solid trades for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We would be swapping our first round picks this year. We would be sending them our fourth round pick, and we would be getting their second round pick and their next year's second round pick. So I think that is probably the best offer on the table, but it's a future second, so I want to make it a little bit more entertaining for you guys. And then the Chiefs, kind of a similar offer, but we would be giving up 19 for the 31st. And we get a second, but also would throw in a seventh. But I think this one, I like this one a lot, and it's probably the best offer for the Washington football team. We would be giving up the 19th overall pick for the 29th overall pick with the Packers. So be moving back 10 spots, and we would be getting their second round pick, and we would also be giving them our 7th round pick. So I think this is probably the best offer that has been given to us. So I'm going to go ahead and accept it. Okay, so now that we have completed the trade, let's go ahead and start this mock draft. And I'm going to try to make the picks a little bit quicker since we have a couple more. It's going to be 4 rounds, and the next draft is when I'm going to start to do my full 7-round mock draft. So we're picking at 29th overall, and we do have a couple solid options. Trayvon Moehrig from TCU could be a solid option at that safety position. Tevin Jenkins from Oklahoma State, another really good tackle option. Same with Samuel Cosmi. And we have a really good linebacker option in Zaven Collins. I'm not sure if he's going to be here, but the thing is, there is going to be a solid linebacker prospect available here at the, in that 25 to 30 range, where we're probably going to, if we do trade back, that's probably where we're going to trade back to. So someone like Jamin Davis, Nick Bolton, Zaven Collins is going to be there where we're going to pick. So I'm going to go ahead and take Zaven Collins, the linebacker out of Tulsa. I think he's one of the best linebackers in this class. Super versatile. Was a former quarterback in high school. This past season, they didn't play as many games. They played 6 games, but in 6 games, he had 54 tackles, 2 passes defended, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 4 interceptions. He's about 6'4", 260 pounds. Not super fast, but he's fast enough. He can come off the edge. Solid outside linebacker. Can play on the inside too. He got 4 interceptions. Very similar to Anthony Barr, the really good linebacker for the Minnesota. So, if we do trade back, I would love if we could get someone like Zaven Collins or even Jamin Davis, but we got Zaven Collins here, and I think he's going to be a stud linebacker for us that can do a lot of different things for our defense. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our first second-round pick. Keep in mind we have 2 of them because of the Packers trade, and we could go a bunch of different options here. Richie Grant, safety out of UCF, who I really like, has a lot of versatility, could be an option to fill that free safety hole that we have. I would be fine if we went into the season with Jeremy Reeves and DeShazier Everett, but also it could be a good idea to upgrade, and they are looking to upgrade that position. If they don't do it in the draft, could be Trey Boston in free agency. Dylan Radnews from North Dakota State is a good offensive tackle option, and same thing with Liam Eichenberg. So we have another second-round pick that we might spend, but let's go ahead and take Richie Grant with our second-round pick. I really like Richie Grant. Really like his versatility. If you look at his 2020 season, 70 tackles, 1 sack, 2 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions, had 1 interception the year before, and 6 interceptions the year before that. And, they only played in 8 games, obviously, because of the pandemic, and had a really, really good Senior Bowl. It's about 6 foot, 195 pounds, so he's got a solid NFL build, can play safety and also versatile, and can play, a couple of different cornerback positions. So I really like him, and I think it would be a home run pick in the second round for the Washington football team. Okay, so now with our second round pick that we got from the Green Bay Packers. So right here we could go, a bunch of different options. And guys, keep in mind, if you guys see some players on this draft board that, should have already gone in like the first or second round, if I don't pick them, it's just because I don't think it's realistic. So just keep that in mind. But right here, I think Liam Eichenberg would be a really solid option. He's probably a first round talent, early second round guy. But, because it's a pretty good tackle class, he might slip a bit. And I think it would be a good pickup for the Washington football team. Could play on the left side, could play on the right side. And obviously, a lot of these tackles, if they don't work out, they can play transition to guard. But we do want him to play left tackle. So, you guys can read some of his strengths and weaknesses. He was a 3-year starter who learned under Quentin Nelson, who's probably the best guard in football, and Ronnie Stanley, who's a very, very good tackle for the Baltimore Ravens. So I think it would be a great pickup for the Washington football team if they can get him in the second round. I think it would be a home run pick, and he could end up being that starting left tackle in the first season. Like, if he gets enough reps in training camp, OTAs, he could be our starting left tackle week 1, depending on how things shake out. Okay, so now with our third round pick, our first third round pick, we're going to do this quickly. So we could go tight end, Brevin Jordan, Tommy Tremble. I like Jordan a little bit better than Tremble, and but there's also some really solid quarterback options available. Kellen Mond, Davis Mills, and Kyle Trask. Keim has been talking about it for a while, that he thinks the Washington football team's interested in Kyle Trask, but I like Kellen Mond and Davis Mills better. My favorite out of the 3 is probably Davis Mills, but right here at, in that third round range, I know a lot of people like Kellen Mond, and I like him too. I just like Davis Mills a little bit more, but I'm going to do it for you guys. Let's go ahead and take Kellen Mond. You look at his career in Texas A&M, had a really solid year this year, 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, only got sacked 7 times. You look at that compared to his last few years, that is really impressive. And also he's a running threat, a little bit of a running threat, 300 yards this past year and 4 touchdowns. And the biggest thing with not with Texas A&M, the biggest thing with Kellen Mond that I really like is, he's been starting for a while. I mean, he's played 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. Davis Mills hasn't done that. He has like 13 career starts or 11 career starts, which isn't a lot. Kellen Mond has a bunch of starts under his belt, and had a really good year this past season with Texas A&M. So I definitely wouldn't mind if they went after him or Davis Mills in that third round range, especially in this scenario we traded back, so it's definitely possible. Okay, and this worked out perfectly. With our second third round pick, Brevin Jordan fell to us, and he is right here for us to take, so I'm going to go ahead and take him. I like Tommy Tremble as well, but Brevin Jordan has a lot more production under his belt for Miami this past year. Had 576 yards, 7 touchdowns, 15.2 yards per reception. Only real concern with him is that he does have a little bit of an injury history. He's had a few different injuries that have caused him to miss some games. 6'3", 245 pounds. Might want to put a little bit of weight on, but that's still a pretty solid build right there. And I would like us, in that third round range, if we could get him. He's a really good pass catching threat. Okay, so now with our fourth round pick, and I know some people aren't going to like this pick at all and say, why are you getting this player in the fourth round when we already have 2 players at that position that are pretty solid? But I really think the Washington football team might surprise some people and get a running back in that, 4th to 5th, maybe 7th round range. John Keim has talked about it, that they do want to add another running back to that group, whether it be in the draft or free agency. we will have to see. But, J.D. McKissic is going to be a free agent after this year. And let's say Antonio Gibson, if he gets hurt, you're going to want to have another guy this season that you can lean on, because we couldn't do that last year when Gibson went down. Our run game was this awful. So I really, really like Trey Sermon. We could go guard here, though. It would probably be guard or running back, but I don't know enough about these guards in the 4th or 5th round to say if we should draft him or not. But I really do like Trey Sermon. Really, only concern with Trey Sermon is his injury history. But this past season with Ohio State, 870 yards, 7.5 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns, also had 12 catches for 95 yards. He's about 6'1", 215 pounds, so solid build. And I really like him. And if we could get a running back like him or Hubbard, I know I'm mispronouncing that, but one of those guys in that 4th, 5th round range, I really would like it. I think we should add a running back in the late rounds. 4th round might be a little bit too early, but I wouldn't be upset if we did it. So let me know what you guys think about this mock draft. We got some really, really good value today in this mock draft. Zaven Collins, Richie Grant, Liam Eichenberg, Kellen Mond, Brevin Jordan, and we just drafted Trey Sermon. So let me know what you guys think about that trade back mock draft. Appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think, and peace.